At 7. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Ready for this? It's right at 7 o'clock. You know what that means. Frank, get out of the damn picture. No, I'm just messing with you, man. This is Frank, the behind-the-scenes camera guy. We're live on Facebook. We are live in the Sales Talk with Sales Pros group. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram. Tonight is a big night for all of us here. I have one singular talent. You know, I've been a marketer, I've been a businessman, I've been a house flipper, a business investor. I have had a lot of hats on my head in the day. And it all boils down to what I'm going to share with you tonight. And I have many talents, but my one talent that stands out more than anything else is what I'm going to share with you tonight. And that's taking complex subjects and making them very simple, making them easy to understand. And tonight, I'm going to take some of the most complex shit that you've ever faced in your entire life and make it really simple. And so for those of you watching on YouTube, you're actually going to get a lot of screenshots from PowerPoints and then back to me. For those of you on Facebook, you won't see, or Instagram, you will not see the PowerPoints, but you will get the gist of the training. The PowerPoints are nothing but words and pictures anyway. But tonight, I'm going to change your life. And it all starts right now. It's 7:01 p.m. This is the only last training I'm doing for all of 2019. I don't know if there's going to be replays with technology going on here, so I have no idea what that's going to be like. But tonight is the night that you let me inside of your head. And if you'll listen to me and you'll do the things that I train you with tonight, 2019 will not only be your best year, you'll look back this time next year and you'll say, holy shit, I can't believe that I was that small of a person in 2018. If that's what you're looking for, hit a like button, hit a heart button, right? Let's level up in 2019. We're just 11 days away from the end of another year. And whether this was your best year, your worst year, or just it was all right year, it's time that we make 2019 a phenomenal year. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you the building blocks tonight. I'm going to teach you what you need to learn tonight in order to make that happen for you. If that makes you feel good, let me get some love. Let me get some hearts. Let me get everything else. I have put an entire 2 years worth of knowledge into tonight's training. I've never worked this hard on anything my entire life. There's a reason I didn't do a webinar this year. There's a reason why I didn't do a bunch of free promotion trainings this year. I spent the whole year creating what I'm going to release to you tonight. So I'm excited that thank you guys for showing up. First of all, I want you to understand, leave your wallets at home. I know I'm known as the hardcore closer, and I am one hell of a sales guy. But tonight, I don't have anything for sale for you. Tonight, I want to give to you. Tonight, I want to endow the community. There will be an offer at the end of this, but it will not be any money that I need from you or anything like that. It's totally voluntary. But whether you're somebody who takes me up on that offer tonight, the things that I'm going to teach you will change your life. I promise you this. So let's get started. Let me pull up my slides here. Let me change the game for you. Tonight, we're going to talk about what it means to be more than motivated. You see, motivation is nothing more than a drug. It's something a lot of us get addicted to. We get motivated to go do this, and then the force of habit slaps you right in the fucking face, and the motivation drains right out from under you. Right? You get motivated. I'm going to go make $1 million. And you realize how hard it is to make $1 million, and the motivation drains right out of you. My friend Ali taught me about this scale where the smarter and more educated about a product a salesperson or entrepreneur becomes, the less confident they are to sell it. I've seen this in my lifetime plenty of times. Selling mortgages, if they knew the true rate, they wouldn't sell a higher rate. In cars, if they knew the true cost of the invoice of the car, they would never sell above it. And the reason why is because as their knowledge increased, their confidence and ability to close decreased because the motivation was gone. Motivation's like a drug. You get a big rush from it. You feel really good. But as soon as it's gone, you're strung out, hungover, and left to dry. Tonight, I'm going to teach you what it takes to be more than motivated. Tonight, I'm going to teach you about next level motivation. And tonight, I'm going to teach you how to thrive beyond your comprehension from this point on. So if you're digging that, let me get a heart from you. Let me get a like from you. Let's keep this thing engaged over here. Let's move on. Okay, so first tonight, there's some rules. Okay, because I got to practice what I preach. And so number one rule is you got to focus on me teaching you tonight. Sit your I know a lot of you are watching on digital devices, but stay with me on the screen. Pay attention to my words, because you have to hear what I say so you can see what I mean, right? We have to process this subconsciously, and I need you to be focused. So no distractions. Don't scroll social media. Don't do any of that shit, right? Just stay here with me tonight. I won't waste your time, I promise. Number 2, take notes. Because listen, when you write stuff down, you remember it. It's the truth. When you write it down, remember it. Something strikes you, write it down real quick. There's a kinesthetic connection to you having a pen and a piece of paper and actually writing it down, to it staying in your frontal lobe, the front part of your brain, to where you can consciously recall that easier. And actually, if you'll review your notes in 3 days, you'll remember them even stronger. They'll plant in your subconscious. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of ammo tonight. I'm going to give you a lot of information tonight. So you're going to want to take some notes. So make sure you got some notes. More importantly is implement what you learned tonight. The things that I'm going to teach you, the things that I'm talking about here aren't just like, okay, I got that and move on. It's okay, I got that, now I got to do it. That's the whole point of this. This is not a done for you training. This is a what you need to do training. And I want you to grasp the power of that. This isn't a done for you training. This isn't a, aha, I got an idea, now I'm rich. Aha, I got an idea, now my marriage is fixed. Aha, I got an idea, now I'm in great shape. That's not how it is. You got to do the work behind this. So you got to implement what you learn. So first, I want to explain this, like who this is not for. This is not for someone that's wanting to get rich quick, right? I'm going to teach you how to build long-term wealth, but not just in your business, but in your family, wealth in your family, wealth in your health and fitness, wealth in your mindset, and wealth in your business. But if you're wanting some like push button, get rich quick, this isn't the place. If you're looking for some kind of shortcut to success, I don't have that for you either. Okay, I'm a guy that's been through a lot of shit. I'm going to share with you some of that here in a minute. And I don't know a shortcut. I haven't been fortunate enough to blow up on the internet overnight or have a video go viral or any of that stuff. I'm a person just like you. I'm just some regular dude that's been through some shit in my life, that's overcame it. And now I'm willing to share my experience. That's what this boils down to. If you're someone that's looking for easy street, you know, like I don't even know where the fuck that is. I've been to a lot of cities in my life, and I don't think I've ever seen an easy street in any city that I've been to. And so if you're looking for some kind of easy street answer, I don't even think that place exists. So this is not for you if that's what you want. And if you're a person that makes a lot of excuses, this isn't for you either. Because the things I'm going to show you tonight, I know what happens, right? Smart people say things like, well, you know, that's too simple. It won't work for my complex situation. And I assume that you're smart because you're here. Like dumb people don't go to self-development and personal development trainings at 7 o'clock, right? Dumb people are taking naps or getting high or drunk or whatever the fuck there is to do at this time of night, getting ready to go to the club or whatever. That's what dumb people do. You're here with me tonight. And I know that smart people like yourself, you tend to knock simple shit. But the truth is, simplicity is how this world works. There's nothing complex on this planet. None of us are doing heart surgery or rocket science or any of that shit, right? It doesn't have to be complex. So don't let your excuses get in the way of the simplicity of what I'm going to teach you tonight. And here's what I know. It's like I told you in the beginning. Simplicity is my specialty, right? Taking big, complex things and making them simple, because if they were big and complex, you'd have a reason, an excuse not to fall into it and not to believe in it and not to implement it. But if I make it simple, then you have no excuse because you understand what to do. So who this is for? Tonight, this training. Now, everybody's going to benefit from this, okay? Everybody's going to benefit from the training. But really who I'm speaking to are the entrepreneurs out there that are producing 7 figures or more in sales annually. Top line revenue, 7 figures or more annually, right? This is because here's what I know. When you're playing at a big level in life, you're making $1 million, 10 million, 100 million a year in sales. That doesn't necessarily have to mean your income, but when you're doing that kind of business and sales, the force of average, which I'm going to explain to you tonight, comes at you really hard. So this is for everyone, because on every level, there's a new devil, but especially those of you that are making good money, especially those of you that are doing 7, 8, 9, 10 figures a year with your corporations. This is going to help you get through those mental barriers, these hurdles, these obstacles that are in your way. That's what this is for tonight. Okay. It's for entrepreneurs wanting to scale their business. A lot of what I'm going to teach you tonight isn't about business, but it applies to business. Because business, like anything else, like money or anything else, is a mindset. When you have a business mindset, you can change things. And I'll talk about the 4 levels and everything else tonight. This is for entrepreneurs who want to be the most elite version of themselves. And I'm not just talking a lot of money. I'm talking being in good shape. I'm talking being in good relations with your group, the people around you, your family, your friends, your employees. I'm talking about being in good financial shape and being in good mental shape. You want to be the elite version of yourself across all those 4 areas. And we're going to discuss how to do that tonight. I'm telling you, I'm living it out. I'm living it out. I'm the most elite version of myself that I've ever been before. I got almost 40 years on this planet, and I'm stronger, smarter, wiser, in better shape, better relationships than I've ever been in my life. And that's the whole reason I'm doing this tonight, because I want to share this with you. I want you to get the same things from your life that I'm getting from mine. But listen, we can all admit that the struggle is real. You know, we've all been through struggles. I had a gentleman in my office today that was going through a big time struggle. Dude, super mad successful, going through a big time struggle. I had to counsel him on how to get through it, because many of us, the struggle started when we were young. You know, for me, I was adopted at age 7. I thought I had a mom and dad that loved me. My dad split on me, left me. My stepdad adopted me. Like, I had to take a whole new identity on. The shit fucked me up in the head. It fucked me up so much that I dropped out of high school. You know, I like, society didn't have a place for me. I felt out of place. And I carried these things that happened to me in my childhood through my entire life. And I was filled with rage and anger and all these things that weren't serving me. I remember my parents telling me at a young age, you know, you're going to end up dropping out of school and being on drugs. You're going to end up going to prison. That's exactly what happened to me. It was like they prophetically spoke into my life what happened. The struggle was real. I didn't have people telling me, like I talk to my sons right now. I tell them they're going to grow up to be senators. They're going to grow up to be business owners. They're going to grow up to be entrepreneurs. I didn't have anybody speaking these things over me. And chances are you don't have people speaking these things over you when you were young either. It's just like if we grew up our entire lives hearing that money is the root of all evil, we'll grow up thinking money's evil. The truth is money's not evil at all. People are evil and can do evil shit with money. But if you're a good person, you can do amazing things with money. But the struggle is real. It came at me. I've been busted with guns, went back to prison. I've been divorced. It was 10 years ago that I walked out of federal prison with $25 to my name. And I pulled into one of the nicest buildings in Dallas, Texas today, to my office in a Rolls Royce, one of the stone coldest Rolls Royces in Dallas. I left my mansion to get here. And I don't say that to brag, although it feels nice. Don't get me wrong. And I don't say that to rub my life in your life. This isn't a look at me on Instagram or look at me on Facebook. I'm telling you the truth. I came from humble beginnings. Broken family, fucked up education, drug addiction, incarceration, guns, drugs, you name it, divorce. Fuck, dude, the list could go on. I've been through it all. I've been through this shit. And for years, I wonder, why does this shit keep happening to me? What the fuck did I do? I'm just a good dude trying to make things happen. Why does this shit keep happening to me? Let me give you a quick synopsis of my life. When I was born, my family was wealthy. They were well-to-do. They owned banks, they were entrepreneurs, all that good stuff, right? So my family was well-to-do. And by the time age 5, the SNLs crashed. My family became broke. Now I'm telling you this for a reason, not just to talk about me, but there's a lot of education in this story. By the time I was 7, my identity changed and I was adopted. By the time I was 15, I dropped out of school. By the time I was 19, I was dead. I died from an overdose on drugs. By the time I was 21, I was out of prison. I had a job. By the time I was 22, I was working in the mortgages industry. By the time I was 25, I was a millionaire. You see this family rich, divorce, adopted. Doing good in school, drop out. Drop out, do drugs. Right? Do drugs, go to prison. It's like I'm just driving that rock bottom lower. Get out, become rich again. 2004, 2005, I make $1 million almost in 1 year. Here, cops raided my house, thought I was selling drugs. Go back to prison, get divorced, lose my entire fortune while I'm incarcerated. Walk out July of 2008 with $25 to my name. Go get a job in a mortgage company, start making $200,000-$300,000 a year again. 2010, the feds creep in, take my license from me. I'm stuck out again. I got tired of this roller coaster. 2012, I find a business partner. We hit things off. He steals the money and disappears to Thailand. 2014, I got another business partner. He ends up getting a drug addiction. I'm like, get on top of the world and fuck it up. Top of the world, I call it meteoric rise and the jackhammer to rock bottom. That's my life. That's what I became. And so last year, I started asking myself, like, what in the fuck? Why do I keep going through these ups and downs in my life? What have I done to deserve this shit? And I realized that I'm always thinking, like, even though I'm a big fuck your excuses proponent and a big tough guy and a hardcore closer, I realized the truth is that the struggle is going to be there always. And it's always going to be a big struggle. And everything that I've accomplished in my life, every hurdle that's been thrown my way, I tend to jump over. I've jumped it. The list that I just gave you would absolutely fucking demolish an average person. One time in prison, it's game over for many people. One time getting divorced, it's game over for many people. Losing their family, it's game over for many people. But somehow, because of the things I'm going to share with you tonight, I've been able to beat every one of those fucking hurdles like it wasn't shit. And I want you to have that mindset too. You see, most people, they sit around, they play this fucking victim of their past. Oh, my daddy didn't love me, or the system fucking wronged me, or blah, blah. Fuck that shit. That's all a distraction from the force of average to keep you from doing excellent things. You see, it tries to steal your motivation, but the truth is you got to be more than motivated. You got to have something bigger. I'm going to share that with you tonight. But I want you to understand that the struggle that we go through in life, it's a weapon of distraction. You see, this algorithm on this planet, let me share something with you. Let me get a little sidetracked. Let me get into that in a second. But the algorithm on this planet, the force of average, its biggest trick is to distract you. Its biggest weapon against you is the distraction. And so every day when you wake up, there's pissed off customers, there's a mad wife, there's kids that make you run late, there's shit that goes on every single day of our lives to distract us so that we're not focused on making our goals happen. And the struggle's relentless. The struggle's inevitable. But most people wake up in the morning and they run into the struggle and they say, oh no, I'm such a victim of the struggle. And I did that for years. And for most of us, the alpha personalities, the struggle triggers the fight or flight mechanism in our brain. And most of you out there would rather fight than flight. And I award you for that. But the problem is we fight the struggle, and what happens is we end up distracted, and the struggle actually wins whether we think we win or not. You see, the struggle's inevitable. Every day it's not, I'm going to do my best to avoid the struggle. Every day it's where the fuck you at, struggle. I got my fucking fist cocked ready to punch you in the face. I know you're going to try to hit me, but I'm going to hit you first. We got to be aware of the struggle. The struggle is a weapon of distraction. You see, I have this mission in life to be where I'm at right now. And the struggle through prison my way, divorce my way, everything it could see, it knew I was going to do amazing things in life. And it threw every fucking distraction it could at me to try to keep me from doing amazing things, but I never gave up. Number one, I'm too stupid. And number two, I'm too hard-headed. But thank God I did, because I'm in an opportunity now to where I've changed millions of lives. There's literally been millions upon millions of people watch my videos, read my blog posts, see my fan pages, listen to trainings like this. I've been able to change millions of people's lives. I get messages daily. But the struggle doesn't avoid me. It's not like I get to a point where the struggle just stays away from me. You see, because here's one of the things that we're lied about. We're told all of our lives, especially ladies, but we're lied to our entire lives from a young age. We're told that there's this thing called happily ever after. Oh, and then she married the prince and lived happily ever after. Oh, and then he made $1 million and lived happily ever after. Oh, then she sold her business and lived happily ever after. Oh, she met the man of her dreams and lived happily ever after. And happily ever after is a fucking lie. It's a distraction from the force of average. Most of us spend our entire lives searching for this happily ever after. If I just graduate high school, I'll live happily ever after. If I just go to college, I'll live happily ever after. If I just marry the woman of my dreams, I'll live happily ever after. And we make all these mediocre decisions in our life, hoping that we can get to a point to live happily ever after. If I just get that degree, if I just get that job, if I just get that retirement pension, if I just get that promotion, happily ever after fucking happens when you're in the grave. That's your ever after. Now you can do life happily, and I'm going to give you the keys to that tonight, but happily ever after is bullshit. It's not like you go do this stuff one day, the curtain closes, and it's the end of the fucking Disney movie here. No, what happens is you implement this stuff, and the struggle is going to come at you harder. There is no happily ever after. I thought forever, if I just make $1 million, I'll live happily ever after. I'm living happily, but I'm still here. There is no ever after for me. I'm still here. The struggles ruin great men. Think about all the great people, and I don't mean to be, gender neutralized or whatever the fuck people complain about these days, but the struggles ruin great people, right? How many people do you know that got to the top of their game, then got divorced? How many people do you know that made millions of dollars and then caught a drug addiction? How many people do you know that were making millions of dollars legitimately that we see in the news, read books about, watch videos about? How many people do we see on a regular basis that are doing great things that some addiction, some distraction, some mistress, some disease or whatever the hell ruins their entire life? All these cameras in here got me hot as hell. So the struggle ruins great people. So the struggle has got you in the past. If the struggle's hurt you in the past, if the struggle's got its death grip on you right now, just know that it's also ruined great men, so you're not alone. The struggle is a weapon, like I said. It's put here to distract you from doing what you were put on this earth to do. See, you were made by the divine creator to be successful. You were put here for a reason, to thrive and make this planet a better place. But the struggle sets in at an early age. We're most impressionable at an early age. The struggle sets in and tries to convince you that you're inadequate, you're not good enough, it's not for you. And the struggle uses your friends, your family, social media, all these things to get in your mind and make you feel inadequate, to make you feel not as good, to make you feel like you can't accomplish what you see somebody else do. The struggle's a weapon to distract you. And I'll explain why here in a few minutes. But your life is going to be filled with battles. You're at a war. And when you're at war, you win a few battles. You might lose a few battles. But if you win enough battles, you go on to win the entire war. And see, our life is a war. Our entire lives, we're fighting for success. We're fighting for health. We're fighting for our relationships. We're fighting for our families. We're fighting for our business. We're fighting for our mindset. We're fighting the force of average. And every one of those things is a battle that we've got to win. But in order for you to truly be able to pass away and feel successful, you've got to win more battles than you lose. But you got to understand that your life is going to be filled with battles. It's not like you win a battle today and you don't have to fight again. This ain't a retirement thing. Your life is going to be filled with battles because the force of average is using the distraction to make you fight every day. So you might ask, what is the force of average? Well, first of all, I'm about to get really deep on you. I'm about to calm all this down and get really deep on you. The force of average is our planet's algorithm. I trademarked this term. I trademarked it, and I own the copyright to it because I believe it's that powerful. Not that I don't want people to share it, but I want to be remembered in my legacy as the guy who uncovered this in life. You see, imagine this blue planet that we're floating on being like a microchip inside of a server. When you look at outer space is black. And our blue planet's just floating in the middle of it. Well, I have a friend that owns like a big server farm with artificial intelligence. And all of his servers are black, and the little lights inside these black servers are blue where the chips are. So who's to say that we're not, just humor me, whether you're religious or not, just humor me. Who's to say that we're not living in some sort of simulation or one of those chips with a light on it inside of a black server? But let's just say that's what we are. For humor me. But let's just say that's what we are. This planet is nothing more than a blue light inside of a server in a simulation. And when you think of our lives through this lens, it makes everything so much clearer, everything so much easier to understand. I'm not here to complicate things for you. I'm here to make it easy, so just bear with me. Well, in order for there to be a server with a microchip on it, there had to have been somebody who coded this microchip in the server, right? I mean, that's how the computer system works. In our life, the reality that you're watching me on right now really mirrors real life. So we'll call that person, instead of God or Allah or Yahweh or whatever, we'll call that person the divine coder. So this divine coder creates this simulation, which you happen to be fortunate enough. I think it's a 1 in 42 trillion chance that you become a human on this planet. And you're here right now. First of all, congratulations. You were designed for big stuff. So many of us overlook the fact that we're here and there's a 40 trillionth chance that we weren't here. Do you think that that's some kind of mathematical algorithmic probability that we just showed up? Fuck no. We were created by something to make us win. But here's the problem. For every devil, there's an angel, right? And so when we're put on this planet with this algorithm to win, there's like this Norton's antivirus. Let's think of it differently. There's like this worm virus that's infected this blue server that we're on called the force of average. So we're on this blue server designed for success. All of a sudden we've got this virus, this action, this worm that's drilling through us. And we were designed for perfection. We were designed for excellence, but this worm is trying to keep us average. The virus has come in, it's attacked the server. You're under attack every day. That's why it's important that you understand that you're fighting battles. We're at a war. We're being attacked on the server that we're on by an outside worm that wants us all to be average. But we weren't created to be average. We were created to succeed. The problem is many of us don't even know what success is. We'll get into that tonight as well. But the algorithm is designed to keep you average, right? This worm comes in and breaks through this algorithm that designed us for success, and it keeps us average. We got to figure out how to beat the virus, how to stay alive, how to thrive, how to still become above it, even though this virus is clearly attacking us. And that's what I'm going to teach you tonight. I want you to understand that. I know that's heavy. That's a lot to take in. You're like, this dude's kind of out of his mind. He's a little deep here on us. But trust me, man, I've been on many a trips, many a thought processes, many a meditations, everything to try to figure this shit out. And it's changed my life, and I want it to change yours. First of all, that virus, that worm, we call it the force of average. That worm that's attacked us in this server, its number one weapon against us is distraction. It's designed to distract us. That's its number one job. That's its only job. It's to put up as much distraction as it possibly can with us. Let's just talk about distractions. You have social media. You have your music. You have people telling you that you can't accomplish shit, right? If you're like me, you grew up in a poor part of town, nobody believes that you're going to be rich. I remember driving down the freeway that's right outside my office window here with my friends in a truck telling them, one day I'm going to own a Ferrari and I'm going to work in a building like this that I'm going to own. And they laughed at me. The force of average infected them. That ain't what people from our neighborhood do, Ryan. I don't know how you're going to pull it off. None of our parents did it. They're trying to distract me from my focus. My focus was to win and live an above average life. The force of average has infected them and taught them to talk against me and to doubt me, which for a normal person would instill doubt in themselves, right? Like, shit, my friends and family doubt me. I'm fucked. But not me. At the time, I didn't know what I was fighting. I just knew that I was willing to fight. And so we have these distractions, right? The average American alone sees 4,000 advertisements every single day. 4,000. On top of that, we're distracted by our loved ones. We're distracted by our friends. We're distracted by social media. We're distracted by traffic. We're distracted all the time. We walk around unfocused, and I'm telling you, the force of average's number one job is to keep you distracted, because when you're focused, you become unstoppable. And I'm going to teach you how to focus tonight. That's the whole purpose of this. And focus isn't just like staring at some shit, having a vision board. Focus is having a mission. Tonight, I'm going to give you that mission. The force of average's job is to come in, this infection, and distract us. Tonight, I'm going to teach you how to focus. There's 4 major areas of your life that you got to focus on. And when I teach you those 4 areas of your life to focus on, there's going to be people like this guy right here. Jeremy Fatabera says, ZZZ, nothing new. I didn't say I was going to come up with some revolutionary new shit. I told you the force of average has you. My brother, I feel bad for you because I'm telling you super deep shit in a very simple level. And you're saying that it's boring and snoozing, and I get it. But the force of average has infected you because many a great man follow this path for centuries. I want to help you. I'm not here to bore you. If you're bored, by all means, fall victim to the force of average and do your thing. But I'm going to teach you tonight focus, because here's what I know. When you become a focused human being, you become unstoppable. There is nothing out there. When you become unbreakably focused on your missions in life, there's 4 missions on your missions in life, you become unstoppable. So the force of average knows this, and it knows that if you get focused and you get locked in, you become unstoppable. So what the force of average does is come in and try to distract you, because its job is to make you average, not extraordinary. Focus will make you extraordinary. Distractions will keep you average. Its job is to distract you, to keep you from being focused. But that shit ends tonight. That shit ends tonight. So let me tell you a story about horses. I know we're just switching this up. Got a little weird all of a sudden. It was like, horses? Not the donkey show, you sadistic bastards. Something else. Remember when I told you when earlier I was young, my family had a little bit of money. My grandpa owned banks. My other grandpa was an entrepreneur. But they had a horse farm. And on the horse farm, we had probably 200 horses. My grandparents and father were really big into these things called cutting horses. And on the horse farm, when a colt form, which is like a baby horse, right? For those of you that don't know, pony, colt, whatever. When it's born, you tie it up to a pole. You tie it up to a pole, and the horse has a halter on its face, and it's all pulling against, and it can't escape the rope. The horse is stuck. No matter what it does, it cannot pull the fence over, cannot pull the post over. It's stuck. Welcome back, Frank. And so this horse gets tied to this pole over and over and over again. And when the horse gets older, it gets stronger. And you tie it to a post. You don't even have to tie it. You can just throw the reins over the post, and the horse won't even try to fight. It's been conditioned since a young age that it can't break away from that post. You see, I've watched horses do that in a young age for a long time, and I asked my dad, it's like, why when they get big, when they can pull the fence over the house down or whatever, why don't they try to pull it away? He says, because we condition them when they're young. You see, you've been conditioned since you were young. You've been conditioned that you can't focus. You see, when you're young, your teachers told you that you had ADD. I don't know about you, but I know what my teachers told my parents. He needs to be on drugs. He has ADD. They're telling me that about my middle son right now. He has attention deficit disorder. He needs to be on medication. He can't focus. Well, I know he can focus because I've seen him stare at the TV for like 4 hours in a row without going to the bathroom or even so much as fucking blinking. I know he can focus. Maybe, just fucking maybe your class is boring, my fucking kid. Maybe to the teachers that told all of us that we wouldn't be successful, maybe we don't want to be a fucking English major. I dropped out of school. I got 10 goddamn fucking bestseller books right here. You tell me that I fucking was going to fail English lit. Sold more books than any teacher I ever had. Why? Because at a young age, they were trying to condition me, and it's not their fault. They were infected by the force of average. But they try to condition you. They try to condition me. They try to condition our kids that they have ADD and they can't focus, because just like that horse, when you tie a pony to a fence, just like tying that horse to the fence, if they start conditioning you that you can't focus at a young age, well, guess what? When you get older, you won't try to focus, just like that horse won't try to pull over that fence. You've been programmed your entire life to be distracted. And I even see salespeople say shit all the time. They say things like, dude, you know, I'm not a details man, or I don't pay attention to that, I'm just in sales, or that's the underwriter's job, or that's the Skinner's job, or whatever the hell. right? I'm not a details guy. I have somebody else do that. Why? Because if you're not focused, you're not living to be the true, most elite version of yourself. And when you're not focused, you're distracted. And when you're distracted, the force of average is winning. That's real talk, y'all. But focus is how you win. But so most people think focus, you think like a pair of binoculars, right? Like you're just trying to gauge some focus to where you can see a little bit. Focus is more than just vision. You see, you have to see what you say. You have to say what you see so you can hear what you say. That's how you program your subconscious. You have to say what you see. You have to have a vision. You have to speak it. You have to hear it. You have to program your mind. And see, focus isn't about just looking at something. It isn't about just having a vision board. It's about having an outcome and doing what it takes to make that outcome real. See, we're distracted when we don't have a clear outcome. Plenty of us say, I want to be successful. And you say, what does success mean to you? I don't know, a lot of money, $1 million. $1 million is not successful. A lot of people, you say, oh, I want to level up. Well, what does going to the next level mean for you? I don't know, more money. More money is not leveling up. I have a lot of people that I'm friends with that have way more money than me, but they haven't leveled up in their life. They may have leveled up financially, but they haven't leveled up across the board. But see, they have no clear goals when it comes to being focused. And tonight we're going to have some clear goals for 2019 for you. But they have no clear goals when it comes to being focused, so they don't have anything to focus on. And again, that's how the force of average gets you. You got nothing to focus on, and so you can't win. But when you get focused, that's how you win. So what do you stay focused on? Right? So, okay, Ryan, you tell me that I'm thinking from your perspective here. Okay, Ryan, you're telling me that I need to focus. But what the fuck do I know how to focus on? Okay, so I'm going to teach you tonight what focus means and what you need to focus on. Is that cool with you? Can I get a like? Can I get a heart? Can I get some engagement? I'm putting on a hell of a deep thought process here for you. I hope that you're getting this stuff. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. And I'm trying to condense it as much as possible too, because I don't want to be here for the next 6 hours with you. You don't have 6 hours of time, and neither do I. So there's 4 areas that matter most in life. Number 1 is gratitude. You see, forever, and I'm just going to be real with you. Can I be real with you for a minute? Can I just tell you some personal shit? A lot of people won't tell you this. A lot of people in my position, they try to act like the shit don't stink and they've never done anything wrong and life's perfect. Wake up to blowjobs, go to sleep to hand jobs. Like, it's not the truth. Like, that nobody's living that life. Not Tony Tatucci, not Dan Bilzerian. I saw a text the other day from Dan Bilzerian saying, I'm hoping this finally makes me happy. The dude's got fucking everything he wants in his life, and he sent somebody a text saying, I'm hoping this finally makes me, I'm not going to say what it was, but makes me happy. And he was dead serious. We look at somebody like that, and this guy's the pinnacle of success. This guy's fucking big time winning. He has tons of money. But he's infected by the force of average in other areas of his life. Tony Robbins often talks about Robin Williams. This is a guy who had everything. He was funny as shit, was like the best comedian ever. Then he decided to be serious, got Emmys and Oscars and all this shit for being serious, then decided to make movies. Then he makes movies, becomes the best movie maker on the planet, still fucking hung himself. Why? Because the force of average got him. Also, because he didn't walk around with the spirit of gratitude. You see, most people think grateful, they got to be thankful for something. We have a lot to be thankful for, especially us in America. We have a lot to be thankful for. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do is say 5 things out loud. Write this shit down. The 5 things out loud that I'm grateful for. This morning I woke up. I was grateful I didn't have to go to the gym because it is brutal in there. Thursday is my day off. I was grateful that my wife was next to me. I'm grateful that tonight I got to present this to you guys. I was grateful that my son Jackson comes over tonight. And I'm grateful that we're going on a family vacation this weekend to Amy's family. Said that as soon as I woke up, 5 things I got to spit out of my mouth. Why? Because as soon as I wake up, I know the struggle's there. As soon as I check my email, my text message, my voicemail, my social media, the struggle's going to be there. There's going to be somebody who wants a refund. There's going to be somebody who's complaining. There's going to be, shit. I woke up today. Let me just give you a fucking example. I woke up today and the general contractor that runs all the contracts for my real estate business Got arrested for a parole violation. I got nobody working on my house today. And I got a time clock to be ready by the 24th. And we're going to put it on the market. The struggle's there every fucking day. I can't control him. This shit's out of my control. It's not my fault. It's out of my control. The shit just happens. I don't even know what the fuck happened. But the struggle's there. So I know I got to program myself to be grateful first thing in the morning, because if I'm not grateful for what I have, the struggle will distract me from what I want. If I'm not grateful for what I have, the struggle will distract me from what I want. And so I've got to be grateful that I'm me. I've got to be grateful that I have the life that I have, no matter what level I'm on. I've got to be grateful for the people in my life. I've got to be grateful that I have an abundant mindset. Grateful works on your character, your confidence. All that stems from being grateful. You see, in my life, I had a scarcity mindset for all of my life until 2 years ago. My entire life, I felt like if you were winning, I was losing. And because of that, every time I would see one of my friends have success, I would get jealous, because I'm like, well, they're winning. That must mean that I'm losing. I wasn't grateful for my situation. We know plenty of wealthy people who are making good money, who are grateful. They all the time say money doesn't buy you happiness. You're right. It really doesn't. It'll buy you everything but happiness. You have to program your mind grateful for the things that you have, so that money can bring you the things that will make you happy. Gratitude is a huge part that most people knock it. There's people listening to this right now going, gratitude, fucking be grateful. I ain't got nothing to be grateful. I got these damn bills and these fucking kids and an ex-wife trying to get me for out. Dude, be grateful that you can pay those things. Be grateful that you got the opportunity for somebody to love you and learn a lesson. Be grateful for the struggle, because it makes you better. See, the struggle is a test. It's doing nothing more than testing to see how bad you want the next thing that's out there, right? We're about to do $20 million in real estate flips in 2019. This is a struggle throwing a distraction at me to see how bad that I want to do that 20 million in 2019. I want it real bad, because I already made moves to fix the shit. I don't get mad at the contractor. I don't get upset at the situation. I don't play a victim. I simply say, well, I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with that guy. He did a really good job for me. And I'm grateful that I have other contacts that can help me solve this problem. When you operate and truly become thankful for everything, thankful for the struggle, I'm thankful for the arguments with my wife. You know why? Because when she gets mad at me and she tells me the truth, she corrects me and makes me better. For years, when she corrected me, I didn't feel better at all. I wanted to fucking fight. I wanted to be an asshole. But now I'm grateful for her. She's telling me, your wife, your spouse is the biggest reflection. They know you better than anybody. So if she's correcting me on something, it's making me better if I choose to accept it. So you got to focus on being grateful every day. It starts as soon as you get out of the bed. And it also starts, and I'm going to give you the whole day's routine here on this training, but it also ends every night. The last thing you need to do is be grateful. Wake up grateful, go to sleep grateful. 66 days later, you become an all-around grateful person. Trust me. All right, so we got grateful. 4 areas you got to focus. Number 1 is your gratitude. Number 2 is your group. Your group is your employees, your family, your friends, your referral partners, your network, your group, right? When you have a pack of lions, it's a pride. When you have a group of cows, it's a herd. When you have humans, we're a group. And you got to focus on your group. You want your employees to be the best version of themselves. You want your wife and family, your husband and family to be the best version of themselves. You want your friends to be the best version of themselves. One of the big things that I believe in is if my friends don't level up, they will level off. So I'm constantly looking for a higher level of friends. I posted this just today on my Instagram. In 2014, I made more money than any of my friends. My ego was this fucking big. My anger was this big. My insecurities were this big. And I thought I was in tall cotton. That's a saying here in Texas. But the truth is, until I friended up, see, when I was making $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month and none of my friends were making anything near that, I thought I was a bad motherfucker. Now many of my friends make that on the hour. And I know just how insignificant I am. I've had to make sure that if I'm going to be the best version of myself for the group, I got to make sure that I put myself in the surroundings of a group that wants to be the best version of themselves too. 2 years ago, my friends were on drugs and ex-convicts and you name it, into it. Right now, my friends are hedge fund managers and lawyers, 9-figure earners, 10-figure net worth people. Real talk. Why? Because I got focused on who was in my group. I'm just going to let anybody in my group. You know, I've been divorced 3 times and married 4 times. I let 3 of the wrong women in my group, and it's not their fault. It's my fault. I had these insecurities as a young man. I thought, you love me, I love you, we should get married. They probably had daddy issues. They wanted somebody to love them too, but that doesn't mean that we were a match because I let the wrong person in my group. Obviously, it didn't work out. And again, I'm a leader, so I'm willing to take responsibility for that. I'm not blaming those women. But I'm saying I chose the wrong people in my group. When I got arrested for selling drugs, you know what? I chose the wrong people to be in my group. And those people eventually got me fucked up and arrested. Now, it was my decisions. Nobody forced me at gunpoint to do this dumb shit. But had I been surrounded by better people and had I been focused on having the best group around me possible, that shit would have never happened. I'm thankful that it did happen, though, or I wouldn't have the wisdom that I'm sharing with you guys. You got to focus on your grind. Your grind is your job, your hustle, whatever. You got to focus on that every single day. These are 4 areas you have to focus every single day. Focus on being grateful, focus on your group, and focus on your grind. Now, when I go to work every day, most days for me, it's from 9 in the morning to 6 in the evening. I live and die by a calendar. For those of you that can see on Instagram, this usually is my calendar. This screen is usually my social media and email, and this one over here is all my back-end data. I have 3 screens here on my desk for a reason, so that when I'm here, I'm focused on maintaining my calendar, working the things that I need to work, and seeing what's going on in the back end. And so we have a saying in my office. I love this saying, right? You should adopt it in yours too. If you're a badass, this saying ain't for like weak-ass people. We have a saying in my office is 48/7. I do 48 hours of work 7 days a week. And I do that between the hours of 9 and 6. Between the hours of 9 and 6, I'm so focused that it's almost like a time collapse, and I'm able to do 2 days worth of work in a very short period of time. Because I'm not on social media scrolling around. I'm not being distracted. None of my phones ring. None of my alerts go off. None of my notifications, none of that. Nothing makes noise so that I can be 100% focused on my grind when it's grind time. So many people talk about how they're grinding this, that, and the other. I see people all the time say, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm so busy. What you busy doing? I don't know. I'm just so busy. It's bullshit. You got to know what you're busy on. And I'm going to teach you how to track that here in a couple of minutes. But you got to get focused on that grind every single day. The last thing that you got to focus on, and so many people are going to knock this and be like, oh, shit, you had me until this. But it's your genetics. You got to focus on your genetics. Here's the news flash that I'm going to give you, and some of you ain't going to like this. But you can make all the money you want in the world. But what good does it do if you don't get to leave it to your family because you have to spend it trying to stay alive and buy medication and keep insurance and pay hospitals and doctors? I have my oldest son's mother and I have a great relationship. And her father is like my father. And he is 77, almost 78 years old. He'll be 78 years old next month. And a couple of weeks ago, he pulls me aside and he says, Ryan, I'm proud of you. We have a great relationship. And he says, did you ever think that you'd be riding around in a Rolls Royce living in the house that you lived in? And I said, I fucking knew it from the time I was a teenager. It was just a matter of time. I knew it was going to happen. And he said, I always felt, he was the CEO of a huge company for a long time. And he said, I always felt like that was my destiny too. He said, there's one thing I messed up on when I turned 50 that I hope you don't make the same mistake I do. I said, what's that? And he said, man, never stop taking care of your health. I got to a point where I was about 50 years old. I started making so much money that I didn't think health mattered anymore. And now that I'm almost 78, I wish I would have taken better care of my health because I'm on all this medication and shit, and I feel terrible every day. That's what happens to most people. right? They get distracted. They don't take care of these 4 areas. And so what most of us do is we take care of 1 or 2 of these areas, and then we neglect the rest of them. Well, guess what? If you only take care of 2 out of 4, what is that? Average. You've been infected. For me, for a long time, I was like, as long as I take care of my genetics and as long as I take care of my grind, fuck everything else. It only got me so far, and really what it caused me to do is have the peaks and valleys, the force of average, meteoric rises and rock bottom crashes. It wasn't until I said, okay, I have to focus on all 4 of these things if I truly want to experience success and feel good about things. You know, for most of us, we'll focus like, dude, I'm all about my work. I'm all about my work. I'm all about my work. Fuck, I'm getting divorced. Fuck, why would she leave me? I'm making all this money. You know why she left you? Because you weren't focused on your group. You were focused on your grind, but you weren't focused on your group. I call this living by the G code. Yeah, it's catchy internet marketing stuff, right? But you live by this G code every day. It's something that's easy to remember, right? Gratitude, group, grind, genetics. Every day, am I focused on those 4 areas? Every day, am I knocking off wins in all 4 areas? So here's how you got to fight the force of average. It isn't about, you don't have to go up and down. You don't have to go back and forth. It takes focus on these 4 areas. And I'm about to share with you what you're going to have to focus on in each area. So I'm going to clear all this up. But you don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to go to ups and downs. You don't have to get rich and get divorced. You don't have to make a bunch of money and catch an addiction. You don't have to make a bunch of money and lose your health. You don't have to go through that shit. We don't have to do it. A lot of us think that we have to do it, but you can not avoid the struggle, but you can head the struggle off at the pass if you follow this path that I'm about to share with you. Those ups and downs can all stop. I know I got tired of them, so I started searching hard on how to fucking make them stop. I got tired of it. I said, man, you know what? I'm tired of having it and not having it. It feels a lot better having it than it does not having it. I'm tired of that shit, so how can I keep having it? With what I'm about to share with you, you can be the most elite version of yourself at home, at work, and internally, because this is a big part. What goes on between these ears is a big part. And it really all starts with that gratitude, abundant thinking right here before the rest of the shit comes out. And once you do what I'm about to share with you, you will become unstoppable, but only if you do it. And it's not something you do once, it's something you do eternally, forever. So number 1, if it's not on a calendar, you don't do it. You have to, like most of us are self-employed or we're CEOs of companies. And oftentimes we live in a reactive state. Phone rings, we answer it. Text message, we check it. DM goes off, we look at it, right? And we live in this reactive state. And so we're all the time trying to stay focused on something, and something's constantly distracting us, and we wonder why we can't get ahead. What I've learned to do across all 4 areas is live my life by a calendar. So when I go to work, I know from 9 to 6 everything that I have to do. It's all like if I need to make a 5-minute phone call, send a text message, it's all on my calendar. I find time slots for it. Once a week, I've got to take my wife out on a date because I've been divorced before and I know what happens. And this is going to get hit home for some of you, for a lot of you probably. When you first start dating someone, you open the door for them, you pay for their meals, and then after a few months, you might move in together and you still go out every now and then. You have mutual friends, and eventually it just ends up being a repeat episode of Netflix and chill. Oh, we have kids, so we don't go out. Or, oh, fuck that. It's once a week for me and my wife to go on a date because I know that if you put your best foot forward in the beginning of the relationship, you better keep your best foot staying forward the rest of the relationship or the relationship will be rested. And so on my calendar, once a week is date night. Once a week, I take my 3 boys out and we do something for guy time. Every week, that's on my calendar. It's on my calendar for tomorrow night. Every day, going to the gym is on my calendar. Every day, eat a healthy lunch is on my calendar. Every night, daily wins is on my calendar. My calendar is my boss. So many of us wonder why we can't be focused because we don't have a boss. We don't have somebody looking over our shoulder telling us what to do. The calendar is your boss. The calendar tells you when to date your spouse, when to take care of your kids, when to eat, like it tells you everything. It runs your whole life so that you're focused. I live my whole life by the calendar right here, staying on task, because I know focus is the ultimate weapon for me to win. So if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't happen. And so many of us we put our calendar and stuff together for our business. But guess what? We don't put a calendar together to date our wife. We don't put a calendar together to spend time with our group. We don't put a calendar together to take care of our kids. We just hope it happens when we're not working. And I'm telling you, that's bullshit. That's force of average behavior. You will never have an excellent relationship with your kids giving average energy towards them. The next thing is, you have to learn to live and die by your time. You can always get more money. You can always find more love. Hell, even if your kids got hurt, you can always find more kids, but you won't get more time. Time is the most precious and most valuable resource we have. You have to make the most of it, because the force of average is making the most of the time it has against you. And the calendar helps you remove every distraction possible. Your focus, that thing is telling you, almost like a manager telling you what to do at all times. You remove the distractions from your life when you operate by a calendar. There's no second guessing. And at the end of the day, when you look at your schedule and you look at your daily wins, did you do the work? Yes or no? It's real fucking black and white. What gets measured gets improved. And every day you're measuring your improvements on that calendar. At the end of every day for me, and I'm about to break down my perfect day for you. At the end of every day for me, I write down daily wins. I look at what all was on my calendar, and I write down the wins, not the losses and not the lessons, but just the wins from that calendar. If ever I'm having a down moment, I can go back and look at all my daily wins. And believe me, I have hundreds upon hundreds of them, because I've been doing this for a long time. So here's the perfect day for me that keeps me focused in those 4 areas, okay? I'm going to clue you in. You guys can take notes on this and write down, because this is the process right here. This is the formula for success. I wake up, say 5 things I'm grateful for. Then I read my core values out loud. Yeah, I see them, say them, hear them, program my subconscious, because core values aren't just some fluff, rah shit. Core values define who you are as a human being. I'm reminding myself what I'm thankful for and who I am every morning, first thing. Then I listen to something motivational. I don't check my email yet. I don't check my voicemail. I don't do any of that. I just listen to something motivational. For you, it can be the Rewire with Ryan Stewman podcast. It's on iTunes, 6 minutes every morning. I'll change your mind. Then I hit the gym. I go and have a protein shake and then hit the gym. I hate going to the gym. It's hard. It's tough. It wears me out. So I just get it knocked out first thing in the morning. Then I get in from the gym. I hit the office from 9 to 6. While I'm at the office, I'm living and dying by a calendar. When I get home at 6:30, I sit my phone down on the charger. I'm focused with my kids because they go to sleep about 7 or 7:30. So I got a good hour and a half to really focus on my kids. As soon as they go to sleep, I got time to focus on my wife. We get to hang out, talk, recap our day. Then I go to sleep about 10 o'clock. Up again like clockwork. But before I go to sleep every night, like I said, I write down my daily wins. I look at my calendar, I see what I had to do, and I write down the wins that I had. Today, my wins were Mike O'Hearn shouted me out. Frank Kern commented on one of my posts on Instagram. Andy Frisella commented on one of my posts on Instagram. We had a great day at work. We got some bottleneck stuff handled at phone sites. These are obviously this training will go down as well in my daily wins. Right? Every day I'm focused on where I win every day, so that at the end of the day, I'm reminding myself, no matter how hard things were, I won. I guess Instagram is out. Hold on a second here. There was like a bunch of people watching it on there too. Hold on. I guess it only lasts an hour. All right, we back Instagram. So daily wins are hugely important. Date night, like I said, man, you got to put it on the calendar and go out on a date with your kids once a week. Your kids separate than your wife. You can go out with your wife and kids, with your wife or your husband, or with your kids. Like for me, it's important that I have time one-on-one with the kids. For me, it's important that I have time one-on-one with my wife. And then we go do stuff as a family as well. But I make sure I have a date with just me and the kids and just me and the wife every single week. I'm not trying to get divorced. I'm not trying to make all this money and then get divorced. I'm not trying to fall in love with the woman of my dreams and lose her. That's not what I want. So I'm going to make sure I got date night. But here's what I know. You need accountability. to hold you down for this stuff. The calendar will hold you accountable, but only if you're an accountable person. It's easier to fight the force of average as a team than it is by yourself. Right? When you have somebody who can hold you accountable, somebody who can help you out, get a partner, get a buddy, get a coworker, get a friend, get a member from the gym. I know that I'm in the best shape that I've been in my life because I have a trainer holding me accountable in the gym. Mark makes sure that I'm there. If I was to not show up, I'm sure he would blow my text up or make fun of me or make it even harder the next day. He's holding me accountable for my actions. When you have somebody holding you accountable, you will do the work. Because I know there's two types of people. There's type person one that hears all this stuff and says, okay, I can get focused on these areas. I'm very motivated. I'm very determined. I can make this happen. And then there's number two. This is shit, man. I need somebody to help me out with this. You know, for me, it's easy for me to be focused at work, but I need somebody to hold me accountable in the gym, right? It's easy for me to be focused on my finances, but I need someone to hold me accountable to make sure that I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do in my family. I know these weaknesses, so I have people that hold me accountable. I pay for coaches and mentors for that reason. And when you have somebody that holds you accountable, it's real talk only. It's not you trying to sell some bullshit excuse why you're trying to do the things you want to do. It's someone holding you accountable so you get the result that you're looking for. You get the result of that focus. When you focused on that outcome, you make it actually become a reality. And you only get there by keeping it real. And here's what I know. What gets measured gets improved. When I first started working out with my trainer, I weighed 225 pounds and I was about 19% body fat. Now I'm down to 196 pounds and I'm 11% body fat. Why do I know those numbers? First of all, because we measure those numbers every month. And second of all, when I found that out, now we have a blueprint to try to beat now we've got a goal, a number, a measurement that we can beat every single month until I finally got it down to 11%. And I'm trying to get into single digits. I really like hamburgers though, but he does a really good job of holding me accountable. So oftentimes people say they want to level up. We hear it all the time. Say, dude, I want to go to the next level. I want to level up. I want to level up. I want to level next level, big level, next. But fuck, man, if you ask most people what that means, they won't even tell you. They're like, I don't know, man, more money. I don't know, better sex, another wife, a threesome, or a six-pack. Like most people don't know what leveling up means. And so you have to set goals in your fitness. Okay, I want to be 10% body fat, 185 pounds. So I may not get there overnight, but now I've got this goal and I know what the next level looks like for me. The next level in my relationship might be, I want us to be able to have a conversation without even speaking, that we know each other so well. How can I get so ingrained and listen and love her so much that we have a non-verbal communication that just get each other? And so I want to share with you, most people, when they say level up, they mean business. And most people have no idea what the levels in business are. And so I want to share with you those levels in business so that it opens your eyes of what you got to actually focus on to get to the next level, what the next level is, so that you actually have something to focus on. So level number one is the sales pro. And I'm going to give you countless examples of people that have been through this journey. A sales professional, someone that works for somebody else, right? You get commission, you think about yourself, you close sales so that you can make money, take care of yourself. You're always focused, you don't matter. The CEO's pay don't matter. The company doesn't matter. The company could be fucking just falling apart. And you don't care as long as you get your commission check. That's none of your concern. You're a sales professional. Level two, self-employed. Right? A lot of people watching this are probably making a transition from working for somebody else to wanting to work on their own. Right? Most of the people that watch my stuff, they either want to be entrepreneurs or they are. And so self-employed is that second level. You go from working for somebody else to working for yourself by yourself. Well, on these two levels, you get to think selfishly. When you're a sales pro, you think, I don't give a fuck. I'm closing. Give me my commission. When you're self-employed, it's like, hey, I got to hustle to make my commissions. I got to hustle to make my money. I got to hustle to pay my bills. And their mindsets. Okay? When you get to level three, the CEO, things change. When you're a CEO, the mindset shift, because I had to go through this 2 years ago, the mindset shift is no longer me, me, me. It's this, right? You are the driver of an organism, an organization that is truly a living organism. You're not just worried about yourself. I haven't given myself a raise in 3 years. Our company's consistently grown. We had a record year again this year, but I haven't given myself a raise in 3 years. Why? A, I don't need it. And B, I'm focused on what's good for this company, and giving myself a raise is not what's good for this company. I can't think selfishly anymore. My mindset has to shift on level 2 to level 3, than thinking about me to thinking about us. I have to think about my employees, their Christmas bonuses, their families, the lifestyle that they live. I have to think about all those things. I have to think about operating accounts, net profit, losses, chargebacks. I have to think of everything as a whole. Scared to admit this, but I've been on salary for 3 years now because I'm a CEO. I'm not self-employed anymore. And if you're self-employed and a sales pro, you're the first person paid. If you're a sales pro, you're the first person paid. If you're self-employed, you're the first person paid. When you're a CEO, you're the last person paid. It's a big mindset shift when you're able to think so abundantly that you pay yourself last. And the last level, the fourth level, is an investor. You see, an investor hires CEOs. See, a CEO is where you really start to delegate and you really learn to become a master delegator. When you become an investor, you hire CEOs, so everything's delegated out. See, a lot of people think level 4 would be happily ever after a retirement. None of us are going to retire. We might live to be 120 fucking years old. So we've got to get our money up and be able to build a business as a CEO and as a self-employed person to where we can become an investor, because you can't skip level 1 to level 4. We were talking about this earlier on a podcast I was on. You can't become a sales pro, save a bunch of money, and become an investor. You have to learn the other steps before you can truly enjoy success. Now, you can start investing on the side. And if you're a full-time real estate investor and you're doing the work, you're still not the true investor in this sense. You're more like self-employed. An investor is someone who buys businesses and buys investments that make them money without having to do the actual work, but actually doing the due diligence. And so I want you to think about this. The CEO and investor have to not be selfish. The investor is going to get paid last. The employees are going to get paid first. The CEO is going to get paid. You're very last in line to get paid. And so most of us say, I want to level up, and they just think more money. But if you make more money as a sales pro, you're really not leveling up. You're still a sales pro. That's not the next level. You may make next level money, but that's not the next level. Then when you do level up, you become self-employed to say, oh, I actually just want to run a self-employed company, make a bunch of money. That's not leveling up. The next level is CEO. When you're CEO, you can think, I'm the boss. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. The truth is there's still another level. It's the investor. And really, the investor is the most selfless person because he gets paid last. He's in service of everybody else. And he or she has ultimately the most responsibility. You see, now I've given you what levels to focus on attaining in business. Chances are, as a sales pro, you're not going to make $10 million a year. Chances are, as self-employed, you're not going to make $10 million a year. CEO, you can start to get into that kind of money. Investor, you can for sure make that kind of money and beyond. Now, I want to share with you people that have gone through this process. Let's talk about our man, Grant Cardone. Yesterday, I saw a video of his where he's in the Marlins Stadium, and he says people are complaining about the cost of $2,000 tickets to VIP at 10X. He says they all want to be in my seat. Well, my seat costs $10 million. You see, Grant started off as a sales professional, and then he became self-employed and putting on his seminars. And then he built this empire, which is known as Cardone University, and he became the CEO. And now he's got a CEO of his company, and he's a full-time investor with $750 million in assets. Let's talk about Tony Robbins. He goes to work for Jim Rohn. He's a sales pro. Then he leaves Jim Rohn and he becomes a seminar guy. He's self-employed. Then he creates Tony Robbins International and becomes the CEO. Then he hires a CEO for Tony Robbins International and invests in over 800 companies. He only does what he wants, when he wants, how he likes to do it. He's not running the companies. He might be the face of them, but he's an investor and the face of those companies. Let's talk about Gary Vaynerchuk, sales pro, worked for his family. took over the business, became self-employed, worked his way up to CEO, built VaynerMedia. Now he's an investor in Uber and everything else. The list goes on and on. This is the formula, guys. This is the formula in business. So when you say you want to go to the next level, it's not about the next level income-wise. It's not about the next tax bracket. It's about what level of business you're playing on here. I hope this is like, I know it's very simple, and smart people always have the tendency to knock simple stuff, but I'm giving it to you straight tonight. I'm giving you the rules to the game, the G code, the rules to the game, all this stuff. So you got to have clarity in your life, because you can't focus without clarity. So when you get clear on what the next level for your fitness is, you get clear on what the next level for your relationship is, you get clear on what the next level you need to go to in business, right? Then you got something you can focus on. When you have clarity and definition, when you define what those next levels are, you have something you can focus on. Until then, you're just distracted. And when you get clear on what you want and you take the action to make that happen, you become unstoppable. How many of you watching this have been in your zone before? And you felt like you were in your zone, you could just make anything happen. You were just closing sales, doing deals, creating content, whatever it is, right? So you were in your zone because you were focused and you were clear on what you wanted the outcome to be. But you also have to get clear on what you don't want. You know, I don't want to manage my company. I have a sales manager and a chief marketing officer and an operations manager. I'm clear that I don't want that. And so I don't focus on those things. I delegate all those things to them. I got to have clarity of what I'm good at and a definition of what I need to do to level up. And sometimes what I need to do gets pushed off on other people because that's not my focus. And I explained to you guys the perfect day. And I want to go over this one more time with you. You wake up, you say what you're grateful for. You read your core values out loud, and you wake up to motivation. I go to the gym, then I go to work and do my 9 to 6, sorry. Then I spend time with the kids, time with the wife. I go to sleep at about 10 o'clock every night, and I repeat that process. In this perfect day scenario, there is 4 areas of my life I'm focused on constantly, so I have no room for outside distractions. None whatsoever. I don't have time for it. So like I said, I know there's 2 types of people. There's the type of person that doesn't need any help with this, and there's really 3 types of people. There's the type of person that doesn't need any help with this, and they can handle it on their own. The other type is somebody who knows they need somebody to hold their fucking nose to the grindstone to make this shit happen. The third time's people that just say, "Oh, fuck it," and they ain't interested, and they're infected by the force of average. If you're interested in my help, I don't want any money from you tonight. If you're interested in my help, here's what's going on. In 2019, I'm so focused on the things that I have to do that I'm only taking 25 people on as personal coaching clients the whole year. And it's always funny to me this time in the show because we see the numbers drop because people are like, "Oh, here comes some kind of sales pitch. Heaven forbid I listen to something that might help me." I get it. The force of average, that virus infects us all, scares us all. I don't even have nothing to sell you. I'm just going to give you an opportunity to change your life one way or another. But bi-weekly calls with me. The 25 people, only 25, I'm not taking on more than 25 this year in 2019. I will do every other week a one-on-one call, 30 minutes, and we'll record every single one of them. You get on the phone for 30 minutes every other week with me. I'm holding you accountable for these 4 areas. You get to come to my office once a month and meet with me and the other 25 other people and mastermind and make sure that we hold each other accountable and stay on track. You're going to get a quarterly 2-day boot camp at my office here in Dallas. If you're one of these 25 people, which I'll show you how to handle all that here in a second, you'll get a 2-day boot camp once a quarter where you'll come in and we have some stuff to put you together and get you fucking up and going. We have weekly and monthly accountability forums. So while we get on our call every other week, I'm going to be reading your weekly reports. You're not going to get on a call with another coach. It's going to be me. That's why I can only take 25 people. These are the only 25 people I'm coaching in all of 2019. And you're going to fill out these accountability forms so that when we get on the phone, it's real talk. And we're not wasting each other's time with, "How's the weather, Hank?" We're on there. It's like, "Hey, man, did you fucking do what you're supposed to do this week?" It says right here that you did. Because I want you to win. I've helped a lot of people become millionaires. I've helped a lot of people become successful, find the love of their life, be in peak optimal health, everything. And it all starts with accountability, and that's what I'm an expert at. And I'm going to work with only 25 people for an entire 12 months. I can't help you for 3 months and cure all your problems. I can't fix the fucking world around you that you've been running for 30, 40, 50 years in 90 days or 180 days. I want 12 months uninterrupted every other week. And I promise you, in 12 months, every other week, every month in my office, and once a quarter for 2 days, you will be a fucking different human being in 12 months. You will look back 12 months from now and laugh at the motherfucker you are right now. You'll think, boy, I thought I was something. We will turn you into everything. And out of those 25 people, the person that improves the most, according to our accountability methods, gets a Rolex Submariner after the 12 months. But here's the awesome thing, is everybody who graduates the 12 months, which will be all 25 people, there is no half in, half out, gets to become speakers at my events over the next 2 years. So just being a speaker at my event, which some of them have 500, some of them have 100 people, is huge authority, huge ability to sell stuff. And you know what? I teach people how to sell. So when you're on stage at my event, guess what? You get to learn how to sell stuff. But here's the results. Here's Fabian Rubel. He's been with me for almost 3 years. He says, I've been with Ryan for almost 3 years, and now my life has done a complete 180 from where I was then. Thanks to Ryan, my life has changed. Because that's what I do. I fucking change lives. Bill Murphy. I started a business 9 months ago that took off. I reached out to Ryan to help me scale past 7 figures in annual sales. Ryan has helped me scale my business to the next level. CEO. Bill went from self-employed to CEO to the next level, and hiring him is one of the best decisions I ever made. Hillary Jastrom. When I met Ryan, I was an excuse-filled person with an illness that held me back. Now I'm making more money than I've ever had in my life. My health is good. She was in terrible health when we met. Her health is good. She's sleeping in the most comfortable bed. That's an inside joke. And the most comfortable bed money can buy with the husband of her dream. Hillary Jastrom was a completely different woman 12 months ago than she is right now. John Hopper, he says, I'm a lifer with Ryan. I can always count on him and his badass network. This is a guy that's ran 1,000 employee companies. John's an amazing dude. Roop Snood, all the way from England. I wouldn't be doing what I do today without the help of Ryan and his network. When I hired Ryan, I was looking for ways to build a business. Build a business that I love, and I'm now doing what I love and making a ton of loot doing it. That's what they say over there, making a ton of loot. Huh? Rhonda Twice, 14 years old and from South Africa. 14 years old. This guy paid me $25,000 this year to be a personal client of mine. Because of Ryan's help, I've made over 6 figures in my business in a little less than 3 months, all the way from South Africa. You think that's a good? He invested 25 grand and he's made over 6 figures just in 3 months. At 14 years old in South Africa, can we say fuck your excuses? I just did. He's my first mentor and will always be my mentor. Here's Jeff Ducharme. When I need something, Ryan is always there. He's helped me grow my business and take them to the next level. CEO and investor for Jeff. I also blame Ryan for my nice car and watch addiction. Jeff's got APs, Rolexes, Jaguars, fucking, I don't know what all car collection he's got. It's crazy. Satem Gali, Super Bowl champion. This guy is the coach of coaches. I've hired a lot of coaches, but Ryan Stewman has been the most instrumental all the way. He's such an authentic and caring coach that he's there for you when you need him and when it counts. I'm glad he's in the huddle with me. Jonathan Federa, with Ryan's help, I was able to build my business to a level I never imagined. This guy's like one of my greatest success stories. I have multiple streams of income and am funding 9 figures in business loans with Ryan's help. Jonathan Fowler, Ryan's help has been instrumental in us growing a national brand that does multiple 9 figures in production annually. They're almost at $1 billion, by the way, and he will be my second $1 billion client. By far, he's the best investment my company ever made. Jonathan went from no social media presence to being the #1 real estate funnel maker in all of Facebook. Michael French, when I met Ryan, I was lost, out of a job, and overweight. I was unsure what to do with my life. He gave me some advice and pointed me in the direction I needed to go. I then hired him as a mentor and have had the best year of my entire life in 2018. Billy Alt, I can directly track down over $1 million in business that has come directly from Ryan's help in my business. I've paid Ryan almost $100,000 in mentoring in the last 3 years, and he's 10x my return. So what's next? Okay, so you want to know what it takes to work with me. Now, remember in the beginning, I told you these 25 people have to be doing at least 7 figures or more in sales a year. That doesn't have to be net revenue. It has to be top line revenue, but you got to have your own business and at least doing 7 figures in sales. And so we're taking applications to be one of these 25 people. You have to fill this application out in detail. Don't just give me some half-ass application. I'm not going to call you. We're going to give you your fucking, your shit just will slide through the cracks. We're looking for the best of the best. We're going to fill this room and this group in my time with elite entrepreneurs that want to go to the next level. I can only take 25 clients, period. There is no 26. There is no, oh, hey, well, you know, it's 2 months later and I need money. We're opening this up. It's fucking, once it's closed, it's closed. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to fill out this app. The app's going to take you to a PayPal thing that's $499, completely refundable. I'll give you your money back if you're not a fit for our thing. And if you pay it and I don't call your application, I'm going to give you that money back plus some free training. No hard feelings. But once you pay the $499, you'll be directly routed to my personal schedule to where you can get a call from me. It's not my sales team. It's not anybody else. It's just me. I'm going to schedule a call with you. I'm going to be the person to call you. We're going to talk for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm going to interview you. I want you to be clear. This isn't you interviewing me. I think I've proven myself. You can just Google my name. I'm in Forbes every fucking week. This is to see if you're a fit for what we're doing. If you want to become the SEAL team of entrepreneurs, this is me interviewing you. I'm only looking for badasses. If you got excuses and all this other shit, you're one paycheck away from the gutter, like I'm not your guy. This training will have helped you, but I'm not going to be able to work with you for an entire year. I'm looking to have people that are already successful that I can turn them into massive successes that never have to worry about the force of average creeping in their life again. So here's what you do. You go over to morethanmotivated.com. Morethanmotivated.com. Go over there right now and apply. Morethanmotivated.com. Go over there, apply. Take your time. You don't have to be in a rush. I'm not going to pull all the applications tonight and close this damn thing down. I'm not going to do that. Just go over there, fill it out, and take your time. But here's what I want you to know. This investment is not $25,000. It's not $10,000. It's a significant investment. I'm only taking 25 people. This year, I made almost I made almost 8 figures. So I started to say 10 million. I made almost $10 million this year. My time is very limited. I'm not just going to take anybody in this program. But what I'm looking for is people that really want to level up, that are fucking dead ass serious. And I tell you, if you give me 1 year of your life, you will look back at where you're at right now and laugh at yourself. And you'll wish that you would have made the decision sooner. So with that, that's the end of my show tonight. It's the end of my time. I've had an hour and a half of your time. I greatly appreciate it. I'm looking extremely forward to helping a few of you out next year, 25 of you to be exact. This doesn't mean my other programs are going away or anything like that. But for my personal mentoring, there will be only 25 people that get it in 2019. Maybe that's you. Later, y'all.